Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to Books, Business, and Brunch. Today we have an amazing topic, and it's going to be do not let fear stop you from telling your story. But we want to go and do our intro, so we will be right back. In the meantime, go grab your tea, go grab your coffee, go grab some beverage, and come back and hang out with us for the next few minutes. Be right back. All right. We are back. Great afternoon. Welcome to another Monday afternoon of Books, Business, and Brunch. I am your host, Joan T. Randall. I am an elder. I'm a publisher. I'm an award-winning coach and an author. I'm an award-winning author and coach. And I am the founder of Victorious You Press. It is a boutique publishing company where we do all things publishing and publishing services for you. I want to give a shout out to my co-host, Leslie, who is not here with us this Monday. It is her granddaughter's birthday, and family always come first, right? But we want to welcome everybody that will watch us today. We want to welcome you if you are watching the replay. And we are so grateful that you have decided to take some time out of your day on this Monday afternoon and join us for Books, Business, and Brunch. We want to bring to you information about the writing process, about the publishing process, and about business. As you all know, and I've always said this, that books are the stairway to a business, right? Or if you are in business, you should write a book. If you're in ministry, you should write a book. If you have a story, you should tell it, right? And it is so amazing today that we're going to be talking about the fear of telling stories, right? And so we will get into that right now. Another thing that I wanted to share with you is that I and my co-host, Leslie, will be traveling on Wednesday to IBPA. That is the Independent Book and Publishers Association, one of the largest book publishing associations in the country, has been around for years and years and years. And once a year, they have this huge conference that they call a university. And so whenever you are in a space, a business space, no matter what it is that you're doing, whether it's banking, accounting, publishing, writing, you should always be a student of the area of expertise that you are in. You cannot just continue to do business and not shape up on all of the skills and the things that are necessary as you grow your business and as you provide a service or a solution or a resolve to those people that you are called to serve. So we are excited that we get to go to IBPA this weekend. Well, this week we're getting there on Wednesday. We're not coming back till next Monday, but we get an opportunity to be around all of our writing friends, all of our publishing friends, all of the publishing platforms, Amazon, KDP, BookBaby, Lulu, everybody will be there. Ingram Spark, they will all be there. So we are going to sharpen our skills as publishers and writers and business owners, and so that we can come back with all of the expertise so that we can provide that for you. All right, now let's get into the topic. Do not let fear stop you from telling your story. Stories, as I've said so many times, are the connector, right? They are connections. They are connectors. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do, how you do it, where you do it, when you do it, or why you do it. Everything is a story. Most people's lives are stories. Every gift, every skill, every talent, every opportunity, every lived experience, every learned experience is a story. Story connects people at the heart. They are the windows to resilience, right? A lot of people go through some incredible odds and they beat the odds. That is the story. Why? Because someone may be experiencing the same thing that you experience and would love to read your story because that would be a breakthrough for them. Another thing is that people relate to stories. No matter what you're going through or have been through in life, you are not the only one. There are people out there that have experienced it in the past, that is experiencing it now, and that will experience it in the future. So why is your story important? Because it sheds light on a similar experience that you have gone through, that you have overcome, and now you have some tips and some tools to help others do the same thing. It is proof that good things come out of bad situations. It is proof because if you have gone through some experiences that are heartbreaking, that are devastating, and you're still standing, it means that something came out of that. The pain of the experience might still be there, but the fact that you are still here, alive, breathing, watching us, it means that you have overcome in some way, right? And so you have the opportunity to help those that are at that stage that has not yet overcome. And then it also inspires others to dream, right? Our stories inspires others to dream. I am sitting before you right now, a survivor and thriver of domestic violence and a stint of homelessness, right? Yet here I am today running my own business and being able to coach and preach and teach and just won an award. The very same book that I thought, well, before I say book, the very same story that I thought that would bring me shame and embarrassment is the story that won the gold award at the 2024 Spring Book Fest competition. The story that I thought would be my greatest pain and shame is what won, right? It goes back to those things that I talked about before. Stories are the windows to resilience. Stories are relatable. Stories shows that good things come out of bad things, and stories inspires others to dream. Don't forget those four things, all right? All right, so I did a little mind map for you because you might be watching me this Monday afternoon and saying to yourself, you know what, Joan, I have had a story in my heart that I want to tell for so long. It is painful. It's a little embarrassing. I'm a little bit ashamed of some of the things that I have done. But as I said before, there are others out there that may be in your situation and is looking for a breakthrough. And the only breakthrough is going to be that story that you tell. So I provided this thing called a mind map for you, and I call it the author's mind map. And it's 4 simple ways of writing your story. We did a poll in one of our groups not too long ago, and the poll was, why don't you write? What is so difficult about writing, right? Why don't more people write about their stories or write a book? And hands down, the number one response was, I don't know where to start, right? It wasn't money because that was in the poll. It wasn't that they don't have the story. It is that people don't know where to start. Granted, you live a life for so many years, right? And you have so many stories to tell, which means you can write multiple books. But think about the first book you want to put out, or for those people who have written already, what else is there that you can share with the world and you know that they can benefit from this? So I put together something called a mind map, and it just allows you to stay focused, right? Because a lot of times we talk about writing books and we talk about, the plan that needs to be in place for you to write, characters, how many words, all of this stuff, right? I have written 17 books and I use the same example for all of them, whether it's a devotional, whether it's an anthology, or whether it's my memoir. This is the same kind of strategy I use because for me, it has to be simplified. I need it to be simple. Yes, there are elements of planning, but the simpler it is for me, it is the easier that I will be able to put the strategies in place to get that book done. So I'm going to share my screen right now and I'm going to bring onto the stage and I'm going to do it in a way. Let me see. I just want to make sure that you can see. All right, here we go. So this is called the author's mind map. And I hope you can see this well, right? And it's four sections. And then each of those sections, I give a little bit of highlight so that it can help you. Maybe I'll just put it all the way on the screen so that you can see this a little bit better, right? Hopefully you can see this really clearly. All right. So this is called the author's mind map, and it starts right in the middle with the hero's story. This is who this book is about. Let's just say, for example, the story is about you. You are the hero. You are the story, right? You have to tell yourself, where do I want to start and where do I want to end? If you start with the end in mind, it gives you an incredible flow of the story. So you're going to start at point A, and you want to end the book at point Z, right? So once you know where you start and where you want to end the book, then everything else in between is easy to accomplish, right? So this story is about you. And there are 4 elements to writing the story. Element number 1, I like to put it on the left side. It's called the hook, right? The hook. This is the most compelling experience or your conflict. This is where everything starts. What is that conflict that was in your life that was so profound, so compelling that you want to write about it and share the experience with people? So the hook is the first section of your book. That is where you will start your chapter 1. The hook. What is it? And on the left side of that, I give some ideas, right? A profound incident that happened, a life or death situation that you experienced, or a mind-blowing impact, something that impacted your life in such a mind-blowing way that you need to tell it, or a life or death situation, or something that was so profound that happened to you. That is how you want to start the book. It's compelling. It's attention grabbing. It is, I do not want to put this book down because the hook is so good. That's how you start your book, with the hook. The second part of your book is the body. The body is everything else about you that you want the reader to understand, right? So this is the backstory. It's the backstory so that the reader gets to know you and how you ended up in that conflict that you wrote in the hook, right? So here you'll talk about your early years and you want to put this in chronological order. So I like to go 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, so on and so forth. The body of your book has the most chapters because this is where you're going to share a little backstory about yourself. And within those chronological order of your times in your life, you're going to write about the standout moments, right? Moments that stood out to you that is worthy of sharing and things that shaped your life, good or bad. So you'll find that the body of your book has the most chapters, but this is where you are explaining a little bit about your background, how you were raised, what were some of the things that happened to you in life, that were really stand out, whether they and how they shaped your life, good or bad. So you find that the body of your book has the most chapters, right? And then you're going to get into the resolution, right? And the resolution, this is where you talk about the steps you took to resolve what you wrote in the hook. The steps you took to resolve what you wrote in the hook, right? Whatever conflict you started out in the hook, whatever profound incident that happened, the life or death situation, the mind-blowing impact of the hook, that is where you're going to start to share that in the resolution area of your book. So what you're doing, you're taking the hook and the resolution, and now you're connecting it because the body is where you told the backstory and how you got into that situation. Once you get to the resolution, you are now tying the conflict or the hook together to share with your reader what were the ha-ha moments in your life and how did you resolve what happened in the hook. All right. So this is where you're reconnecting the hook to this part of your story. And then the fourth section of your book is the conclusion. What is the conclusion? This is where you are sharing the things that you learned throughout this life story that you're writing, throughout this experience that you are sharing. What did you learn and how can you apply excuse me, and how could others apply that? Let me take a sip of my tea. All right. So in the conclusion, you want to talk about where are you now? What lessons you learned and what were the top takeaways? Why? Because whenever you write a book, there has to be something in your book that benefits the readers. The question that is asked, or you should ask yourself, no matter what book you write, is what is in it for the readers? And here we're just talking strictly nonfiction, right? Because that's my lane of expertise. So this is strictly nonfiction. If you notice, I have something on this map called the parking lot. Why did I put the parking lot here? Well, most often when you're writing, no matter where you are in the writing process, there are times when there are memories that surface when you're finished writing a section. Instead of going back to rewrite all the things that you have already written or trying to go back and add it in to your section, just put it in the parking lot. Make bullet points and place them into the parking lot. Why? Because you don't want to necessarily to go back and rewrite. And these are some of the things sometimes that people procrastinate on because they start the book, they're getting into a nice rhythm, they get to a part, and then a memory comes back and they go, oh my goodness, I have to rewrite. Don't rewrite. Put it in the parking lot. And once you are completely done with the map out of your story, the hook, the body, the resolution, and the conclusion, then I want you to revisit the parking lot and look at all the bullet points that you place in the parking lot. And when you look at it, then you determine if those things, those memories that is now recorded in the parking lot, are they necessary to the story? Are they going to make or break the story? And if they are, then you choose where in the story they go. And the ones that really don't make or break the story, or really don't have any value or profound value to the story in totality, then just leave it off, right? Just leave it off. And that is how you literally, my friends, put your story out, lay your story out in simple, simple, simple terms. So I hope this benefited you. I hope that you got some good nuggets from this story. I hope that this made sense to you and that you will continue to write. Do not think that you don't have a story to tell. The world is waiting on your story and you should write it. I'm going to end with how I started today. Stories are windows to our resilience. People can relate to stories. It is proof that good things come out of bad, but people won't know until you write it, and that it inspires others to dream. So, if you have a story and it is not yet written, it is time for you to write it. And as I close out, I want to leave you with this one thing. It's a quote written by me, and it says, "The pen creates an indelible moment in time that can never be erased." That's all I have for you today. I look forward to seeing you not next Monday, but the Monday after for another books, business, and brunch session. May God bless you and keep writing. Take care. Have a good week. Bye, guys.